What's going on, everybody? It is Alex from Everything for iPod, and today we're taking a look at the LifeProof free case for the iPhone 5. This is a maximum protection case, and I love all of the cases that LifeProof offers. I had the LifeProof case for the iPhone 4 and 4S and absolutely loved it. It was definitely my all-time favorite case for the iPhone 4S. If you missed my review on that case, I'll put a link down in the description. You can go check it out. But that's not what this video is about. Today I'm going to be reviewing, of course, the LifeProof free case for the iPhone 5. Let's throw the old LifeProof case off to the side and take a look at the LifeProof free. As you can see, there's a major improvement to the packaging, and the box just looks badass now. If you lift up that little flap, you can see the case on the inside and also a list of new features up on the top. LifeProof says that they improved this case dramatically over the iPhone 4S LifeProof, so we'll just have to test that out and see if that is true. Now, the reason this case is definitely a favorite of mine is because it is waterproof, dirtproof, snowproof, as well as shockproof, but also remains very thin. Anyway, enough about the outside of the box. Let's crack this thing open and see what you get, because you do get a few goodies inside. So as you can see, it pulls out on this nice little tray. You have the case sitting right there on the inside, and if you lift that out, you can see it's actually a two-piece case. You have a top piece right there with the built-in screen protector. Underneath that, you'll find your microfiber cloth. You'll also find a little instruction manual, which actually has a ton of information. You might want to look at that when you first get this case. It gives you some information on how to install it, how to take care of it. Some important stuff like that. You also get a little headphone adapter and spare headphone cover, so that'll come in handy. We'll touch on that a little bit later. And then last but not least, you have the back portion of your case, which you can see they added a little window for the Apple logo to shine through. In the manual, LifeProof says that you need to water test the case before you put your phone in it, because you don't want your phone to break. Find out that this thing actually has a leak in it. So just snap all the corners together, make sure everything is secure, and then place it in a Tupperware container for about an hour and just make sure nothing leaks through. My test was successful, everything remained dry, and now I'm ready to put my actual iPhone 5 into the case. Let's take a look at the design of this case. On the front of the case, you obviously have a fully covered design. There is a plastic screen protector, which is nice because if you want the maximum protection, you are going to want a screen protector. So that's also what keeps it waterproof. As you can see, there's a little bit of what looks like an oily spot in the middle. That's actually because the screen protector actually touches the screen in the middle. That spot actually disappears when you turn the screen on. You can't see it at all. So that's really a plus there. One thing LifeProof says is that they improved the functionality of the screen. It is going to be a lot more responsive now. They took out the air gap in between the screen and the screen protector, so in the middle you have full functionality to the screen, very easy to use, but as you move towards the edges, there's actually a little bit of an air gap, and that's due to some foam they put on the inside of the case. I'm not really sure why they put that foam there. The older version didn't have it, but it definitely does make a little bit of an air gap, and you do have to press harder towards the top and bottom of the screen. The screen protector doesn't affect the quality of the screen. You do get a little bit of rainbowing, but at a normal holding distance, you really can't see it, and it's not all that bad. Down on the bottom of the case, you'll find cutouts for your speaker and microphone, and that's actually covered by a waterproof material which lets sound pass through. So you're going to get full access to your microphone and speaker. You'll also get a little lightning connector cutout, which can be opened. Again, that's fully waterproof, but a little bit narrow, so third-party connectors might not fit. Apple's connector fits just fine. You'll also find a little cover that screws in for your headphone adapter. Now, that cover is a little bit hard to get out, but I think that's a good thing because you're pretty sure that when this is underwater, that screw won't come undone and water's not going to be able to get through. Now, there's a very narrow channel to get in there. You're not really going to be able to get any headphones in there, so that's where this little headphone adapter comes in, screws in, keeps a waterproof seal so you can use waterproof headphones. Then in the middle of the little adapter, you have a little holder for that little headphone screw, so you can put that in there, you don't lose it. LifeProof does give you two in case you do lose it, but in case you want extra headphone adapters or the screws, you can get them online. One thing I don't like about this is if you're like me and you listen to music a lot, you're always going to need to have this little adapter with you. Kind of a downside, but there's really no way to get around that. On the left side of the case, you have your volume buttons, which are very tactile, and you also have your mute switch, which is actually reversed. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but it was the same thing on the iPhone 4S LifeProof case. If you flick the switch up, it actually flicks the switch on the iPhone down, and vice versa. On the back of the case, you'll find a window for the Apple logo, so everyone knows you're rocking the iPhone 5. You also have your camera and flash cutouts. Those work perfectly. I found no flashback issues. But the rear microphone is covered, so if you're taking a lot of videos, you might find that your audio quality is lowered a little bit. On the front of the case, you have cutouts for everything, including the camera, the sensors, and the headphone grill. One thing I did find while using the headphone grill and microphone while I was making phone calls was that people had a hard time hearing me and I had a hard time hearing them. So if you're someone that makes phone calls a lot, that's definitely something to consider. You're either going to have to throw in a pair of headphones or talk really loudly and crank your volume all the way up. But for me and probably most kids out there, that's not going to be a problem because I don't make phone calls too often. LifeProof says that you're only going to be able to take this case off up to 50 times before it's going to start to lose its waterproof seal. But if you do need to clean anything out, you can take the O-ring seal out just by using something like a toothpick or a screwdriver, as well as the little port cover down at the bottom, so you can take both of those out, wash them off, get any dust out, and put them back in very easily. Installation of the case is very simple. You just lay the top portion down flat, face down, then go ahead and throw your phone in, headphone side first, so you make sure that that port cover lines up, then take the back, snap it on, make sure everything is sealed up tight. The last thing you want is water to actually leak into the case, and removal is just as easy. You unclip the clip on the bottom, and then go ahead and insert a coin, give it a twist, and then pry the case apart. So what better way to test a waterproof case than to actually test it in water? So I went ahead and threw you guys inside of a fish tank and then prepared to sink my phone. So before you go ahead and throw your brand new iPhone 5 into the water, you want to double, triple, and quadruple check to make sure everything is sealed, the lightning connector is closed, the headphone port cover is completely screwed in because you do not want your phone to get wrecked. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to toss it into the water, and as you can see, it is holding up just fine. Because the back of the case vibrates when music is playing, which amplifies the speakers, when you plop it in the water, the music actually goes throughout all of the water and actually amplifies it a lot. So when you're underwater with music playing, you can hear it very clearly. So as I go underwater to pick my phone up, I can see that it's working perfectly. The screen is still lit up, but as I go to use my screen, it's actually not responsive. And that's because all smartphones pretty much have a capacitive touchscreen, which doesn't really mix well with water. So you're not going to be able to use the actual screen underwater, but you still will be able to operate things like the home button as well as the volume buttons. And if you want to take pictures under the water, instead of using the screen to take the picture, you can go ahead and hit the volume button to capture your photos. For some reason, there's just something really cool about having your phone underwater. Whether you actually need the water protection or you just want to play around with your phone in the pool, the LifeProof is a great option because it remains so thin, it doesn't really add any bulk or weight to your phone. It can take depths up to 6.5 feet, which for those of you that use the metric system is 2 meters. You're not going to be able to go deep sea diving with this case, but it will definitely hold up in a pool or hot tub. So obviously the LifeProof case passes the water test. It is very thin, very manageable. It's a great case overall. But some might think the $80 price tag is a little bit overkill. You're going to pay anywhere from $20 to $40 for a regular case, plus anywhere from $10 to $30 for a screen protector. And with the LifeProof, you get a built-in screen protector as well as a very durable case. So in my opinion, I would dish out the extra few bucks and make sure your iPhone is protected with this very awesome LifeProof free case. Like I said earlier, the LifeProof for the iPhone 4S was the best case I ever used, which is why this LifeProof free case for the iPhone 5 will be my everyday case for my iPhone 5. It gives you a maximum level of protection, looks sweet, and people freak out when you put your phone in the water. It adds pretty much no bulk and no weight considering what kind of protection it adds to your phone, up to 6.6 feet underwater, and drops up to 6.6 feet. Thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. I have a ton of videos coming, including my iPad mini review. If you haven't seen any of my other iPad mini videos, go check them out. There's a playlist full of them. You can click the annotation on the screen right now, visit my channel, or hit the link down in the description. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that button so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in my next video. See ya.